What's up, Jay? What do you mean you're working? It's like 8 o'clock for you. Trying to get my dumb old phone. Oh, well, that's why it's not working. Success. All right. So, hold on a momento. I know it's not no beer, but water is still pretty good. So, since I want to get work stuff done on my rocket, well, a rocket, I'm going to start working on a model. This guy right here. Actually, turn it this way and down. Yeah, I did get my chair. It showed up last Friday. It's an inch taller on the lowest height compared to the chair that I was using, so I have to raise my desk up an inch or else I'm a little bent, I guess is a good way of putting it, at least with my wrists and things like that. Well, I have the chair all the way down, so I can't go any lower. The chair itself is actually taller than the one that I had previous, so the desk has to come up. So I might do that this weekend. Otherwise, maybe next weekend. But basically, all I'm going to do with that is, since I built the desk myself and it's made out of 4x4s, I'm going to basically take scrap 4x4, even like a piece here, and I'm going to cut them into 1.5 inch chunks, and then jack the desk up and place them under as, basically like a coaster. And if it works good, then I'll jack the thing up and I'll actually glue it and make them kind of semi-permanent at that point. But is waiting for the time to actually do that. So this little guy, it's an Estes kit. Just kind of like the same things that you can go out and buy at hobby stores and things like that. Nothing too spectacular. It is a V2, kind of like what you see from the Germans would be launching and stuff like that, and it's mainly the tail having a bow tail on it, which is something that just comes in and bends in, and the fins on the side. I had a custom one that I built that got damaged. I called this one Ride the Lightning because I painted it to look like the cover off of Metallica's Ride the Lightning album. And as you can see, I'm missing a fin. So I need to replace it. So hopefully somewhere. Oops. I was thinking that this wood would actually be the fin replacement, but it's too thick. I had to buy a smaller diameter, but yeah, this guy will get resurrected here in a couple weeks. Get a new fin placed on here and get it ready for another crash and burn, maybe. Maybe. And right now, I have this one here that I'm in the process of building. I need a different type of glue than what I have. It was supposed to be here yesterday. It'll be here tomorrow, so then I can start going forward with this. I have this kit. I have another one in the house that I'm actually going to do with my son, along with these two uber little guys, tiny ass things. But they're a good project for a kid, so we'll do those together here pretty soon. And then I haven't even taken it out of the bag yet, but this dude is going to be basically right after the one I'm working on here. And this actually is going to have electronics go in it. So it's going to do a little bit more fancy of a flight. But that's going to be one that I take my time building. Well, I take my time with all of them. But this one's going to take a little bit extra time because of the modifications that's going to be required to actually make it happen. Which is mounting the electronics. You got to mount cup holders, which would actually be little canisters that would hold the gunpowder for the ejection charge and stuff like that. They don't give you that shit. They give you pretty much everything but. So, still some custom work that has to go into it after the fact, but it'll be a fun thing to build. This one's going to be fun, but it's going to be fairly quick. I'm just going to use 5-minute epoxy all around on it and call it good. Because it's nothing super powerful. And that be that. So that can go in the old trash can. We got here, things and parts. And even if I do think I know what I'm doing, I always look at the instructions, because it's not out of the realm of possibility for me to forget stuff. So with that in mind, I'll always look at the instructions. And before I forget, hey Ice, how's it going, man? Yeah, they throw some in one bag and they throw all the other stuff in another. How about that? Depending, it's very possible I could have this thing built in an hour. For the most part. Technically built. Some kind of putty. I'm not sure what the hell that's for, but we'll find out. Alright, parachute is left in there. I assume this is the launch lug for this thing, which is the rod that the rocket would go onto to help guide it up. Fun stuff there. Spacers. All kinds of spacers for the motor mount. And a couple things here. And, well, here's the airframe. I mean, just quickly mocking it up together. It's gonna be about like that, I do believe. That doesn't seem right. I'm missing something, but there's where the instructions come in. So we have all that good stuff. I kind of think this bottom piece is supposed to be cut off. So we'll find out. El momento. So, our fancy duper instructions. They're about as clear as IKEA. Maybe a little more clear. So it's engine mount assembly. Let's look for A. A. Okay, that's a spacer tool. The ring is for an engine block. An orange E to D spacer. That is used for putting in a smaller engine than the max it could take. So then this is the hook retainer ring, the block, the hook, This is the motor mount tube. And that little piece was indeed the launch lug, which is over there. Alright. So, grab my pencil sharpener here real quick. That looks good. Good. And let's get this thing. Oh. Start you at 4. Alright. So just looking at the instructions here, I have to make a couple marks. Let's see. They want one at 1/2 inch, one at 1 inch, one at 3 1/4. So I'm at 4, 7. Is that 1/4 or 3/4? 1/4. 4, 1, 2, 3. Shite. Hold still, you. 3 1/4 and 6 inches. So that'd be 10. Groovy. Then step 2. On this tool, they want me to mark a 1/2 inch. Got it. Alright. So, up to the 3 1/4 inch mark. Alright, before I get too much farther, starting to jump the steps here. Let's get these little doohickeys of theirs punched out. And it's not much like working with plywood, but it's the same principle. So basically the initial step here is to get a support ring, this guy, up inside this tube right about here for this thing to sit right in front of, which is what holds the motor in place. So whenever it does a little at the end, it doesn't just fall out of the thing. Because also if the engine, when it does the ejection charge, isn't retained, then all the force that's being kicked out the top to push the parachute out is going to be used to shoot the thing out, and then your parachute doesn't come out. So you lose your motor, which should get thrown away, but lands in a field somewhere, so it's lost, so that sucks, because then you're trashing up somewhere. And then, one, your rocket's probably not going to have the parachute come out, and who knows, it could get damaged, it could just bounce and be fine in its life. It's hard to say. Saw that email that Twitch is got some beta music thing coming out, so I went ahead and signed up for that to see if I could get access to it, because let's face it, sometimes like this, it gets a little boring. Just listen to me talk. And talk and talk and talk and talk. So, to do what they want here, they want me to reach up in this bitch and smear some glue. Easier said than done. Because to make that happen, gonna need a longer popsicle stick. So we'll make one. Let's see here. All my stuff is in disarray. You'd think I was working on stuff with the way things are spread out. So to do that, we'll just rely on some good old-fashioned fancy electrical tape. Doesn't have to be anything sophisticated. Just has to hold the shit together. So Jay, do you hear me out there? Or you got me muted at this point? I believe old boy got me muted with the quickness. You're more than just a number to me. Alright, how about anyone else in chat? Anyone else out there? Lurking? I did get beta access to Shadowlands last night. I don't know how cool that is. I did get my character copied over and kind of prepped to start messing around with it. At first I was like, well, it's going to come out and I've been 26, so why do I care? And then look what happened. It got delayed. So, you know, whoopee. That's a good thing. It needs more work before they release it. So, just mixing up a little small batch of the glue. Probably made about 4 times more than what I really needed, but that's okay. It's always better to have more glue prepared than not. Well, the fun part is going to be eyeballing right about where all this goes. And well, I'm just going to guess right about there. Alright, so we got a tiny bit of glue up in there. So we take this guy, this little green ring here, and we pop it in to the tube, and then we use this as a tool to where this mark is right here to shove it on up in there and pull it out. And from the looks of it, I can't tell if I actually got into the glue. So I have to see about that. I'm going to check something right here. Do I have the thing I'm looking for? which is probably in the house. Go figure. Looking for a tool. Looking for a tool. Alright, that's okay. I think it's in the house. Do I have another one right here? Thought there might have been one nearby. It's just an X-Acto knife, but that's alright. I got a knife. Works just as well. Alright, so the step here, we're talking about this thing, opening this up right here. And I am just in front of that ring. Might actually be hitting it ever so slightly. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and just open that up a little bit. Whoopee! Then this guy goes there. Is that how I'm seeing that? That's exactly how I'm seeing that. Alright. So then our retention thingy here, technical term, pop that down in here. Then, alright, do I have enough time? I think I do. Gotta do it quick. This glue's starting to set. And so does that move up? It does. Alright, so just putting it right here along this line. I'm cutting it super close on the timing with this glue. That's okay. Alright, so we got that going on. That pumps down into here. This slides over top. Twist that around a little bit. Bring it back. Alright. And that gets brought up by the line. And I was right about that glue. Ooh, another 10 seconds and this would have been a really bad decision. So, and what I mentioned before in the other stream, all my rags, my kids' old clothes. Best thing to use for the most part. Socks and underwear only, not his actual clothes. We donate those or, you know, whatever needs to be. Alright. So, with that, yep, that stuff's pretty much turned into goop. 5 minute at 5 minute. See here, the remainder that I had in the little tray here is looking like something from an alien movie. And it actually doesn't even want to come off the popsicle stick. But that's okay. I don't think I need, let's see if we can pull this off. Let's reuse. We got another. We can reuse this side still. So there's a fancy centering ring that is gonna go over this thing and has a notch on it for this retention hook. It's being a little bitch. Come on. There you go. I knew you could do it. So we're basically bringing it back all the way to the edge. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here and shove it forward, and then I'll put some more glue on the back side of it. That way it's good and strong. Just gotta mix up some more glue. This stuff is pretty empty. There's still some in there. But all I'm going to do is set that over there, like so. And bust out another tube of the stuff. And I got 5-minute epoxy all day long. And what I really need is some 30. 30-minute takes longer to set, so it gives me more time to work. And also, where depending on the application that you're putting it with, also allows it a little bit more time to soak into the cardboard and stuff of the frame, or adhere to it and stuff like that. And it just helps a little bit in strength. So, alright. Just need a littlest bit. And it's seriously just a little bit, which, oh, there it is. Duh. El Capo. Alright. Mr. Popsicle Stick. And I just did a tiny amount. I mean, this is about the size of a dime. Very little. And just gonna spread it around. No real accuracy to it, just real close to the centering ring here. Since this is on the very bottom of this rocket, this would be known as the aft centering ring, meaning the bottom, backside. Alright, that's spread around pretty good. Move that up. They don't really tell you where you should have it. Just, you know, up on this thing a little bit. So we got that done. And, alright, so let that sit for a minute and cure up. See, I don't think there's a good way for me to set this guy right now. Oh, what else can I use? we go. Professional. So, yeah, this thing has an interesting little slit in it. I have a suspicion as to why there is a slit in this one. I think the shock cord for the parachute is going to slip through that. So this is the middle centering ring. That will go probably at the 3 1/4 inch part. Or no, it's probably the 6 inch part. And this just goes right up near the edge. So nothing too terrible. So we could actually get this guy. He would go right about here. And then the other guy would go here. And they're putting all that about on the same side. So, eek. You're not that dry, dude. I didn't mean for that to raise up like it did. Oh, brother. Alright. It is saved. Yeah? Yeah. Alright. So return that back to its sitting position. Then we'll make another batch here. This should be more than enough. Come on. Alright, Cappy. El Capitan. Mr. Popsicle Stick. And mix it up. Get going on pretty good here. Alright. It is mixed. I'm just going to run around, spread this around here. Doesn't take too much. And we might as well lather up around the top here. Top one is pretty much where I want it, so we'll just finagle with that one a little bit. But we're going to grab this stuff, throw it around. Just pull it up a little bit, and this one we're going to pull up a good bit. And we just kind of check them out to see, make sure they look as level as we can make them. And I think that's pretty good. They look pretty good to me. Set them down. Come back, take another gander. The middle one is good. This top one, though, needs to just have a small kink in it. Yeah, that's good. Then they're saying, oh, now you want to put, reinforcement and glue. Yeah, that's cool. We'll do that here shortly. So, yeah, they wanted this thing It looks like at the 1/2 inch mark. Where am I at with it? Well, if I didn't know any better, I'd say I'm at the 1/2 inch mark. So, happy accident? That's right. Let's try not to glue the instructions. And, alright, so we're going to need to do some cutting. They once said to use the X-Acto knife. I don't think this knife will cut it. Find out. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, and I'm supposed to scrape them off, and then the cap in the end here is supposed to come off. So not a big fan of cutting towards me here, so let's see how it goes this way. Yeah, this knife ain't gonna cut it. No sir, not gonna do it. So with that, let me run and grab my X-Acto knife. Be right back. Alright. Now, I don't know how much better this X-Acto knife is going to be, but we'll find out. How's this glue doing? It's actually still pretty unworkable. Wonder if I didn't get enough hardener in there. It'll take it longer. That's okay. We got stuff to work on in the meantime. So, again, with these, what they want to do is all these little ridges, this is where the fins attach in. So they want all this pulled out. So, gonna try and get this done. Who knows, maybe tomorrow on my lunch break I have to go pick up a new X-Acto knife. Well, that's one. That's two. Exciting stuff, I know. 2 1/4. Two 3/4. Almost 3. Almost 3. That's kind of killer on the wrist too. Shit. That actual one looks pretty decent. So I think there is a trick to this. I think you scoring the edges actually helps pretty good. 753. Alright. Well, 753. Catch. I am not going to get this done before I end the stream because it's going to be the kid's bedtime here pretty soon. And I'm going to be reading him a story. So I'd stop the stream at that point out here, and I might fire it up if I decide to go play some video games. But I figured, you know, pretty much everybody that's streaming is playing a game, so this is a little different for some. But yeah, this is not my favorite part. I can tell you that. Alright, one more of these little guys. Alright. Well, that's all those. Then these are supposed to come off. The ends. Not a big fan of how much of a pain this is, but it's getting better. Hey, look at that. Well, that's one side off, now the other. Big ol' other side. Kind of wonder if I took the time to put the cutting wheel on my Dremel, if that would have been, if that would have worked. The only problem with that idea is that the cutting wheel would generate heat, which could then potentially cause the plastic here to melt. And that would be no good. It's definitely a lot of back and forth, back and forth. We're getting there. Of course, you know, the main thing is not to get hurt on stream, because that would be a little embarrassing, huh? Hey, look at me build a rocket. No! Alright. Yeesh. Goodbye to that thing. So now we have the actual boat tail. Bow tail. And then when it goes together, ta-da! Starting to get the shape. But I expect all this to be smooth. So let's see how this works out. I'm just going to use the Dremel at a low speed. Cool. Looks like that worked for the most part. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's look at our glue here. Yep, that's good. Good, good, good. So now would be the other side. All right. So 801. Yep. We got just that amount of time. So we're going to make up another batch here. This time we'll have to make a new fancy popsicle stickle. Some point, until that point, we'll get some more. Now take this guy, and just like all the others, mix them up. Mix, 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 mix. Alright, now we've got some mixed up here. Start with the top one and just whatever I brought with it. And this glob, just gonna spread it all around. Let gravity take care of the rest. Get another glob. Come around, same deal. Just get on there, spread it around a little bit. It'll run down and pull up. Again, letting gravity do the work. Alright, that one's good. And then just get some more for upstairs. And all this is doing is reinforcing. Just making sure everything is good, joined together and strong. Tiny bit more. There. Then they wanted you to put in some stuff around on the inside part of this space part holder, which is, I mean, honestly, just spread it around and goop it up. It'll do whatever it wants to at that point. Then I'm also going to get a little glob right alongside the motor retainer itself in hole. Just get some glue shoved up in around there and all that. Just kind of make it all come together. Alright, so that can sit there and dry for a few minutes now. That's garbage. And this is as well. Been out here for a little over an hour, and I just now picked up my coffee. 8 o'clock and having a cup of coffee. Ugh. I guess I will have to play video games tonight. Still trying to figure out what to do for a good option for like a better look style camera, because I have a feeling that where I'm working, not giving you guys the best view. Not sure how to do that for the full two of you, but that's alright. So really they wanted me to be doing this step here that I did with this while this was drying. So I'm a little bit ahead of the game there. But the next steps is going to take the shock cord for the parachute, mount it to this ring down here, then take and put some glue up inside this guy, put this whole assembly into him, and then attach this. Then it's fin action time. Well, before that, then it would be sticking this against a door frame to get a line drawn on it. A trick that we use, actually, I could just screw a board to the wall right there. But you know, you want the whatever you decide to use as the mechanism that's going to guide the rocket on your launch rail. You want it to be straight up and down. Otherwise, you know, your rocket's going to do stupid stuff. So one trick is to take the airframe and put it in the jamb of a door, you know, the door frame, and you hold up against that because that will give you a straight line that you can just go, and then you're good to go. So I'll do that in the next coming steps here. So yeah, I mean, we have to basically glue those things, get the fins ready, get the line for the door frame, glue the fins in place, and I see. This came with a little block of glue, and I was like, what the hell is that for? Now I see. And they actually, they'll put a little bit of weight in the top of the nose cone to balance the whole thing out. Easy enough. I mean, we're pretty much halfway there, and the rest of the stuff is kind of easy. This doohickey looks like scrap cardboard. That is actually a spacer for the fins. So basically, to get your fin alignment. So like, you know, you put a fin here, it should line up with this edge. You put another fin over here, it should line up with that edge. Then, so they're all where they belong. We'll have that for the next time. And yeah. How's this glue? It's still, we haven't been quite 5 minutes yet, I don't think, but it's getting there. Starting to glob up. I can still get into the old one here. Got some junk there. Clean that out of my little glue thing. Add some more garbage. Clean off the old popsicle stick. Not a euphemism. Alright. That, I think I can go ahead and put that there. These I'm going to set right here. Mr. Knife can go there. Directions can also go right here. Yeah, that's interesting. Drop that down in there. And if it had some stability, will it? Hey, it does. Look at that. So there's a rough idea. Might as well. A few minutes I got left here. Good old balsa wood. You guys remember using balsa wood in school for stuff? I do. Good and lightweight. Usually made like an airplane out of it. Actually, shit. Popping out. Yeah, I don't think I can reuse that for anything, but we'll just set that right there for now. Balsa wood, balsa wood. Pop all this out. Roomy. Then, so we need to clean all the little little dimples here on the edges. Balsa wood is so delicate. Just gotta scrape it. Alright. And last but not least, cool. Alright, well, all four of these pretty good to go. Yep, they are good. Put that there, set that there. Alright, well, it is pretty close time for the kid to be getting into bed. So I am going to call it right there. And it's the glue is pretty close. Still pliable, but now it's keeping shape. Yeah. Yeah, good time right there. Good old-fashioned epoxy. Bye-bye popsicle. Alright. Well, we got everything kind of set for the next go-around, which, before we dive into this guy, well, if the glue shows up, tomorrow night I might stream this stuff again. Hard to say. Depends on what actually the wife and I end up doing. But if I do, the first thing they'll be doing would be mixing up a batch of 30-minute epoxy and getting this motor mount secured into this airframe. Then while that stuff's curing during that 30-minute time and all that, I'll switch over and start working on this guy again for the 30-minute stuff, or with the 5-minute stuff. You know, and at that point, it's going to be basically something roundabout like this. I'm getting this stuff worked down in there. So but yep, we'll be ready for that whenever it's time. We'll go ahead and set that back like that. Put it in here like so. The directions are secured. So, alright, cool. Well, I appreciate y'all that have stopped by and lurked and said hello and all that good stuff. And I will see you either a little bit later if I decide to stream a game, or on the next stages of the rocket build. Till then, take it easy.